In today's video, I'm going to go over some problems that will introduce you on how to calculate commissions. And so let's say we have this first example here where somebody has a base salary of $3,000 and the commission rate is 6% and their total sales are $58,000. So the first thing that you're going to do is to multiply the commission rate by the total sales. And so 6% of $58,000 is $3,480, and that's just in commission. Their total pay will simply be their commission plus their salary, in this case it's $3,000, for a total pay of $6,480. Okay. In the second example, notice that there are returns. So their salary is $2,500. Their commission rate is 5% with sales of $91,000 and returns of $5,000. So when we calculate their commission amount, we're going to subtract the amount of returns from their total sales. And 91,000 minus 5,000 is $86,000. Now that I have my net sales amount, I can calculate my commission. So that's $86,000 times 5% or 0.05, which is $4,300. Now that we know the commission amount, we can add that to their base salary of $2,500, and this is going to give me $6,800 as their total pay. Okay, for this one, again, we have a base salary, $3,600. And this time we have a 4.5% commission on total sales, net sales. And their total sales are $7,600, $76,000 minus whatever was returned. And this gives me net sales of $69,200. And I'll multiply 69,200 by 4.5%. And this gives me a commission amount of $3,114. Adding this to their base salary of $3,600 gives me $6,714. And I'll do one more example of this. Notice that this time there's no base salary and they get paid solely on commissions. So I have an 8% commission rate. Total sales are $98,000, and I'm going to subtract the returns. This gives me $86,575. And I'll multiply that by 8%. This gives me a commission amount of $6,926. And this is going to be not just their commission amount, but their total pay. Okay, some people who are paid on commission are paid on a differential or graduated pay scale. And so depending on the amount that they sell, they get paid a different commission amount. And so let's say that they have total sales of $160,000 and they get 3% on the first $100,000. And 5% on everything over $100,000. Okay, so this doesn't mean that just because there were total sales of $160,000 that they're automatically going to get 5% of $160,000. The way this works is that only the first $100,000 of their total pay or total commission sales will get that 3%. So I'm going to write $100,000 because obviously they made more than $100,000. And then for the 5%, I'm only going to count how much over that $100,000 that they sold. So $60,000, they'll get the 5% rate, and then at $100,000, they'll get their 3% rate. And $100,000 times 3% is $3,000. And $60,000 at 5% gives me a commission amount of also $3,000. So this tells me that they earned a total of $6,000 in total commissions, and that's going to be their pay if they don't have a base salary. Okay, and let's see this example. So there's total sales of $85,000. Okay, the first $100,000, they earn a 3% commission rate, and anything over $100,000 is 5%. Okay, because $85,000 is less than $100,000, they'll be only at the 3% rate. So take the total sales and multiply that by 3%. And this gives me $2,550. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to calculate not just commission, but the net proceeds, and say that there's a consignment sale of $7,500 with a commission rate of 6%. Then we're also given some delivery charges and storage charges. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to calculate the commission amount. So step 1, and as usual, I'm going to multiply the commission rate, this time it's 6%, and by the consignment sale of $7,500. This is going to give me $450 as your commission. And to calculate the net proceeds, and so make sure you read your e-text so you know what all of these terms mean. So step 2 is find your net proceeds. Okay, and your net proceeds is going to be the sale amount of $7,500 minus the commission amount and minus any charges. So I'm going to subtract any delivery charges. In this case, that's $427.72, and also storage charges. so minus $140. So subtracting all of these gives me a net proceeds amount of $6,477.28. In this next example, it says to compute the commission and gross cost, so we're looking for gross cost now, not net proceeds, on a $12,500 purchase for principal. We're given a 7% commission rate, also air freight and delivery charges. So if we had any fees, those would also be included in here. The first step is to calculate my commission amount. So that's 7% times $12,500 purchase. This gives me a commission amount of $875. And now when I calculate the gross cost, I'm going to take that purchase price of $12,500, and now I'm going to add the commission amount as well as any charges or fees. So now I'm adding $138.70 from the air freight, as well as $64.60 from delivery charges. Okay, and my gross cost is $13,578.30. So we can see how it's different when we calculate net proceeds from our gross cost. With net proceeds, we subtract the commission and any charges. With gross cost, we add the commission amount and any fees and charges.